At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Frank, when you think Fareway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fareway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Slade's the place for you!
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
A pleasant good afternoon from Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge. We continue on in Class 2A of the IGHSAU State Softball Championships 55th consecutive year here in Fort Dodge. It is the Audubon Wheelers taking on the Spartans of West Monona. Welcome in behind home plate. I'm Sarah Negastal. We'll be joined in a little bit by Daniel Versteg for this matchup here in Class 2A. Just saw what East Marshall defeat Lisbon moments ago, and now we'll take a look at how these two teams got here to Fort Dodge with our road to state. We'll start first with Audubon. They won in the bottom half of the 7th inning against MVAOCOU, 27-4 on the year. Again, the champions of Region 2. Second in Class 2A when it comes to ERA. batting average, our opponent's batting average, just a 164 this season. Riley Miller, she has been phenomenal in the circle. 15-2, 122 ERA, 237 strikeouts this season. On the flip side, for West Monona, they're going to be balanced and do a lot of different things in this game. 33-7 on the year. They were the champions in region number 1. They defeated MMCRU in the regional championship game. A little bit different of a regional championship game there for the Spartans. Stolen bases, they hit a lot. That's the big power between these two teams. A team that doesn't give up a lot of hits and a team that hits really, really well. And, of course, we talked about Abby Hyatt, 15-4 this season. Going to be a really good one, Daniel.
Yeah, I was intrigued by this one. You have Audubon, who's making the state tournament for the first time ever. West Monona broke about a 50-year drought last year when they made the state tournament. Two teams who, are not too far from each other, kind of on that western half of the state, but meeting up for a really big matchup. I think it's going to be, kind of one of those games we've had on this field already. We've had two of them very evenly matched and two teams that mesh well with each other.
Yeah, I think so. We'll talk more about these two teams. We'll get you our starting lineups and our non-starters, the assistant coaches and the head coaches. All that to come next here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company at the IGHSAU State Softball Championships, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Frank, when you think Fareway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fareway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Softball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest. And Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to recognize both, all while supporting and lifting up the Iowa girl.
With the help of the Iowa Farm Bureau, we celebrate students' efforts not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. The Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to your success and supports our organization and the Iowa Girl. Through millions of dollars they provide in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence.
As Iowans, we have a lot to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing here today or a fan tuning in, we all play an important role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations to your school on a terrific season, and good luck in the tournament games.
Back to Fort Dodge for Audubon and West Monona, and with that, let's go upstairs for today's introductions of the starters and non-starters for today's game.
Number 2, Maggie Lage. Number 5, Georgia Jones. Number 12, Brent Dangle. Number 13, Ren Bellis. Number 17, Ashley Pettit. Number 22, J.P. Jones. Number 25, Jessica Lyons. Number 32, Jersey Bryant. Brenda Miller, Clint Nichols, Charlie Miller, baseman number 4, Nevaeh Healy. Batting eighth, the senior, the left fielder number 7, Jocelyn Scottle. And batting ninth, the sophomore, the catcher number 6, Creighton Litchenberg. And coach for West Monona, Dan Thompson. Now let's get the non-starters and assistant coaches. For the home team on the scoreboard, Wheeler. 14, Harley Kahn. Number 15, Zoe Rasmussen. Number 16, Jordan Mulford. Number 17, Mia Gus. Number 18, Emma Brand. Number 20, Lucy Sanderson. Number 22, Maya King. Number 25, Peyton Gus. Number 26, Alyssa Tesgrove. Number 27, Riley Peterson. The assistant coaches, Chris Overmeyer, Anna Dickinson. And now let's meet the starters for the Wheelers. Leading off, the senior center fielder number 10, Maddie Nielsen. Batting second, a freshman, the shortstop, number 12, Karen Peterson. Batting third, the senior, the catcher, number 3, Jordan Marsh. Batting fourth, a freshman, the pitcher, number 4, Riley Miller. Batting fifth, the senior, the first baseman, number 5, Alexis Overmeyer. Batting sixth, the senior, the second baseman, number 6, Addie Hooker. Batting seventh, the senior, the third baseman, number 1, Michelle Brooks. Batting eighth, the sophomore, the left fielder, number 7, Anna Larson. And batting ninth, the senior, the right fielder, number 13, Gemini Goodwin. Head coach for the Wheelers is Andrea Schwery. Ladies and gentlemen, time to your umpires for this afternoon's game. At first base, John London. Third base, Peter Moore. Calling balls and strikes, Mike Fry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state tournament softball.
Well, here we go. It is state tournament softball in Class 2A. The winner will play tomorrow at 5:15 against Northeast or EBF, the 2 and the 7. This is the 3 and the 6, but as we talked about before, Daniel Versteg joining us again. I don't think that 3 versus 6, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people may see.
Yeah, I think the seedings are but a number at pretty much all classes here at the state tournament. We talked about the upsets a little bit in the bigger classes. This one especially, you look at Audubon, and they're here for the first time. We didn't even talk about the fact that they're a new conglomeration. IGHSAU, Elkhorn, Kimballton joined them this year. West Monona, they just play a ton of games. They played 40 games heading into this state tournament run, and now they're trying to do something they haven't done in a long time, win at the state tournament. They're incredibly quick. They're incredibly athletic, and that makes for some exciting softball. And I think we could see a lot of that here in this contest.
Yeah, Coach Schwery actually was the head coach at IGHSAU HK, and now she comes over and coached Audubon. She said, one of the things that talking to people around her, the biggest thing is they kind of talked about it this winter, and they were kind of like, hey, should we do this? 2 schools kind of talked about it, and they looked at the numbers, and they said, man, this team could be really good if we decide to just, go into a sharing agreement between Audubon and IGHSAU, and here we are. Not only are they pretty good, but they're at the state tournament.
Right. I was going to say, IGHSAU, Elkhorn, Kimballton made 4 region finals in a row under Coach Schwery there. So, tons of success heading here to Audubon.
And talk about regional finals. You mentioned West Monona making their 2nd straight trip to state. They had been in 7 straight regional finals, 5 straight without even making the state tournament, and then now the last 2 years here have made the state tournament. Ground ball, third base side. It'll be a play across the diamond in time, just in time. Good speed down the first base side to start off the game, but even better throw over by Brooks at third base.
Yeah, it's not very often you can retire a speed demon, and I mean that in the nicest way, a speed demon of Casey Miller. She scores 70 runs. She's stolen 65 bases this year. It's almost guaranteed a ball in play will get her to reach, but a great play by Michelle Brooks.
And Savannah Lucas comes up, and she slaps the first one foul. She'll play center field today, wears 21, and is batting from the left side. Obviously different colors here for these two teams, so easy to tell them apart with Audubon in the all red.
And I thank them for that because my first game was Davenport Assumption ELC. We had all black everything for both sides. This is a much better matchup.
All green, or all red, and then you got green and black and white jerseys, pinstripes for the Spartans of West Monona. As you mentioned, not terribly far. Two teams out of Western Iowa playing here. Of course, West Monona out of the West Central Conference and Audubon out of the Western Iowa Conference.
Yeah, they were kind of in neighboring regions this year. With West Monona, actually, Audubon beat one of West Monona's Western Valley Conference rivals, MVAO-COU, and so you had neighboring regions kind of that way. I'm sure they were paying attention to each other, and just kind of so happened that they ended up meeting here at State.
There's a swing and a miss. First strikeout on the ball game is on the board for Riley Miller, who hits in the heart of the Audubon order, but right now she's trying to send down the West Monona order, and now she'll go against her own counterpart as Abby Hyatt will step in. And Hyatt, it's fun to watch in the circle, but also can swing the bat as well.
Yeah, I got to see her a couple of times at Logan Magnolia, and boy, could she hit with the Panthers, and now she's up here at West Monona, and really filled a void in that circle for the Spartans, who had lost a pitcher after last year's state tournament. She stepped in right away, and she has gelled well with this Spartan club.
And this one's popped up and out of the way as a little friendly camaraderie there for the Audubon catcher, Jordan Porsche, as she was running back to try to grab that. She tried to run right through the umpire and, of course, quickly apologizes. And he says, of course, no apology necessary. They're both trying to do their jobs, and sometimes you run into each other.
Yep. Things happen. You get in the way of each other, and that's going to happen probably a couple more times throughout the game.
No doubt about that. 2 balls to a strike now as that one misses away. Riley Miller is going to be the one that's going to carry this Audubon team. Ground ball to the shortstop side to Hopper. Fire to first. Strong throw across the diamond in time by Peterson for out number 3. So Audubon, they shake off the early jitters easily. Go 1-2-3 of West Monona in the top half of the first. We've played a half. We'll come back. More softball is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back, fans. Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passion and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. And, of course, the Central banner prevalent here at Harlan Rogers. Beautiful day. Look at all the fans here spectating. Big food sign. That's pretty obvious that there's food out there in right center field. Food all around. There's food in right field, food in left field, food behind us, and they're all delicious.
I will admit I partook of some of that food in between games. It was nice to have a little bit of a break there and fueled up and ready to go for this one.
Here we go. Bottom half of any number one. We're going to see the Wheelers at bat for the first time as they will take on a really, really good pitcher. And Abby Hyatt, as she steps into the box or steps into the circle. 25th appearance this year, 1.15 ERA, 189 strikeouts, 49 walks, 15 and 4. Also has 4 saves in the circle this year. And the first pitch misses a little bit outside. Misses that away. Yes, West Monona was here a year ago. Ran through their regional tournament this year. 33-3 they outscored their opponents in the regional tournament this year, and a lot of that on the back of Hyatt.
They only had to play 3 innings in their region final against MMCRU. Scored 12 runs against the Royals in that first inning of the region final.
Yeah, and they batted 13 athletes, what I thought was pretty crazy. Their first 13 batters, no outs.
Right. Yeah, that, and, you know, some of that can be chalked up to the fact that region got upset prone really massively in the bottom half of the bracket. The 2 seed Hinton lost their first matchup in the quarterfinal round, but still MMCRU earned their right to be there. That's still a quality opponent, and West Monona, boy, they kind of took it to them in that first inning.
And now we're going to see what the Wheelers of Audubon can do in their first ever state appearance. Quite a few teams here at state this year. First appearances in a couple of different classes. Saw a couple yesterday. West Fork earlier here in this class, and now Audubon as well. And it'll be a walk to start the game for the Wheelers.
And I want to go back to, as you were closing out the top of the first inning, you mentioned that there was no jitters in that first inning, and it was just kind of a passing comment, obviously heading into break. But that's important to, I mean, Audubon looked like boom, boom, boom. Yep. We get the first 3 outs. We get a walk. They look like they've been here 20 times.
Runner's going to take off, and a head-first slide, a little bit of a high throw, and now all of a sudden you get a walk and a runner at second base as Maddie Nielsen slides in safely. And Peterson will be batting with a runner in scoring position now. Porsche will stand on deck, and Audubon is right into their game. Had to survive the alphabet, MVAOCOU. In the regional final, popped up. It's caught. And good job over at second base by Nielsen to get back to her bag as Peterson trying to move her over. Popped that one up, but even better hand-eye coordination there by Hyatt as she sprints out of the circle to make that play.
Yeah, Abby Hyatt is such an athletic player in the circle. Sometimes there's a little bit of an inside joke of pitchers are the best athletes on the field. And sometimes it's said tongue-in-cheek, but I think in this instance it might be true. I mean, there's a lot of good athletes on this West Monona squad. Abby Hyatt's definitely high up there as a strong contender.
No doubt a West Monona team that has had some other, they've been successful in track and field. We've seen quite a few of their girls' relays on the blue oval, and some of that speed translates to what we'll see in this game, and pretty athletic. That one is going to be an infield caught by the shortstop.
I saw the same thing you saw.
Yeah.
It looked like an infield fly rule was called, but it wasn't the scenario for it.
Yeah, I saw the umpire's original reaction, so I started calling, and then I started realizing, wait, it's not that type of situation. But Casey Miller making the play there for West Monona at shortstop. And that one's in there for a called strike.
And you know, for Abby Hyatt too, I mean, she could have been in a scenario here in this first inning. Oh, and Casey Miller maybe a little limping over there after that play. But Abby Hyatt, you know, her first pitch missed badly. She walked the first batter. Things could have derailed for a less veteran pitcher there. Settles in, gets a couple of outs, and now she's ready to go too.
And that's what West Monona kind of going to lead on here is just they've got somebody in the circle that is cool, calm, and collected, and that one misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. This is Riley Miller. She had herself a successful 1-2-3 in the circle. Now trying to help herself out with a runner at second base. And there for a called strike. And now Hyatt and West Monona are 1 strike away from stranding that leadoff runner over at second base.
And Hyatt's just in control now. She's got some solid spots. She's hitting them, and it's led to, the last couple batters flying out.
But Riley Miller still dangerous. She'll call time and step out of the box, whether she's got 2 strikes or no strikes. Miller has had a great year, and she is a dangerous hitter. Has only struck out 8 times this year. And that'll be number 9 as she strikes out looking there. It's a big strikeout for Hyatt. She strands an Audubon runner at second base, and we played one complete. We said it was going to be a good softball game. So far, it's been a pitcher's duel. We'll come back. Inning number 2 is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
Frank, when you think Fareway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fareway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Back to Fort Dodge we go. There's a look at Riley Miller as she steps back into the circle for another inning of work for the Wheelers of Audubon. The face-off against West Monona. And this one's fouled up and out of play. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up. Stengel starts it off. She's the right fielder, followed by Bree Hill and McKenna Baker, all due up for the Spartans of West Monona. And that one rises upstairs, but a good hold by Stengel. You saw she kind of wanted it, but she held back.
Yeah, and that's what makes both these teams really good. They are so disciplined. They, don't swing at bad pitches. And there's another example. She wanted that high fastball, but she keeps her hands back. She's so disciplined at the plate. And it, keeps her from being down 1-2 or 0-2 in this scenario.
Yeah, 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. There's a swing and a miss. A good pitch kind of fooled Stengel there for a moment on she started to kind of check her swing and didn't go all the way through it. It's a 2-2 count now for Miller. She misses with that one away over the head of her battery mate, Jordan Porsche, but of course nobody on base and no problems done. Brooks is at third base. Karen Peterson is manning the shortstop position. Addie Hooker is at second base, and there's a little grab by Obermeyer at first base. She knew I was just about to call her name and makes a great play at first base in time for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a great stab at the other hot corner, I guess you could say. Full extension. Yep, I'll just take that. Thank you very much. Big first out.
It's one to the right side as well. Going to be tougher to go after that one. As Goodwin gave it a chase from right field, but it goes out of play into that bullpen down that first base side. Got the tarp there to play as well. You don't always have that high school softball field, so that's a new obstacle.
I was going to say, is there any high school softball field in the state with a tarp down the line? That's probably a first for all these girls.
It is. There is some.
Is there? Okay.
I do know that.
Okay.
There is some, but not probably in.
Definitely not the majority. Yeah.
And that one is taken for a ball on an 0-2 pitch. Kind of a close take on a 0-2 pitch, but she chooses correctly to let that one go by.
Yeah, Riley Miller really wanted that one.
And kind of goes to the same spot. Miller kind of shakes her head. Maybe she wanted to go a little bit lower with that one. This time, Bree Hill lays off the last 2. Hill, the third baseman. And now back to an even count, 2-2. Pops it up in the air. It's foul territory. Porsche underneath it. And she makes the play for out number 3. And just like that, out number 2. And just like that, 5 up and 5 down for Audubon so far defensively.
Yeah, that's a tough play for a catcher. You're going out, that ball's spinning back toward the backstop, and That's normally where you would say, oh, the third baseman's got to get that ball, but it's impossible for her to get to. So that's a great play by Jordan Porsche. Set herself up well, didn't overran it, and made a nice play on it.
For Audubon, they gave up 11 runs in the last 2 games before the postseason started. Went 16-0 as far as runs scored or runs given up in the postseason, and that's continuing on. Again, didn't have quite as much shutdown stuff in those last 2 games. Of course, Martinsdale St. Mary's a really good team. Lynn Ralston got him for a couple of runs, but so far in the state tournament, it has been perfect for Riley Miller and the Wheelers of Audubon. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning. More softball is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Ladies, the place for you!
Beautiful day in Fort Dodge, Iowa for high school softball. We had some sprinkles during our last game, but the sun's shining now. 83 degrees here at the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex. 55th consecutive year that we played high school softball here at this complex. It has changed quite a bit in those 55 years, but one thing stays the same. Good high school softball and really good high school pitching. That's what it takes to get here to the state tournament and win a state title. Everybody knows that, you got to have 9 players, but what's in the circle is really determining your future.
Well, because once you get down here, 1 through 9 in the order is going to be solid. I mean, you're going to have outstanding hitters. It's, do you have a pitcher that can overpower enough hitters? You're not expecting, the regular no-hitters that these girls throw probably against lesser competition. But just can you overpower enough? Can you mitigate damage? And that's what these pitchers do so well. It's what separates them from your average run-of-the-mill pitcher.
No doubt about that. Audubon batting here with their first baseman, Obermeyer. Had that great catch over at first base. Now she's up to bat. It kind of seems like things follow you. If you make a good defensive play, you're up to bat pretty soon after that. And this time she flares one out to shortstop, and it's tracked really well there by Casey Miller, the outstanding shortstop for the ladies in black and green. And she makes the play easily for the first out.
Yeah, really calm play. I mean, the ball's hit right to her. Sometimes that can be pretty tricky, too. You think you got to, start running, but if that ball's right at you, it's calm, easy, and didn't think about it too much, which always helps as well.
Addie Hooker will step in, the second baseman, 6th spot in the order. Only one have reached thus far for Audubon, that via the walk. Audubon has had 6 up and 6 down defensively, and West Monona so far has had everybody up and down except for 1 walk. There's in there for a strike. That brings us to where we are now with Hooker, the second baseman. Down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hyatt, 1 strikeout so far. Will she find her second one here? She does! A swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Hyatt. And now Audubon down to 2 away here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Well, what I'm loving about Abby Hyatt's pitching here for the first 5 outs or so is she's changing eye levels. I mean, she is living at the knees, down in the zone, and then she gets you to 2 strikes, and she throws a pitch like that. Now, she's going to change it on me while I'm talking about her, but, she's changing the eye level, and sometimes it's much more potent most of the time than just, straight velocity or something like that. If you can, keep a hitter guessing eye level-wise, you're pretty good.
This is Michelle Brooks. A couple of strikes here to start this at-bat, and now all of a sudden, if you're Hyatt and West Monona, you're one good pitch away from getting to the third inning. Best pitch here, no balls and 2 strikes, can be anything. And she goes high, gets the swing and the miss, and it's held onto by the catcher. A little bit of a circus play, but the play is made by Lichtenberger behind home plate in time for the strikeout, and out number 3. 2 complete innings. We've had 1 girl reach on both teams. That was a walk. We'll play more softball in the third next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Back to Fort Dodge. There's some fans enjoying today's game. The West Monona crowd has their girls coming up to bat here in the top half of inning number 3, bottom half of the order. 7, 8, 9 up, and this is Nevaeh Healy who steps in first. She's the first baseman, wears number 4. Trying to get something started here against Riley Miller. What have you seen from Miller that's been locked down about this pitcher so far?
Well, she's just keeping the Spartans off balance. She's inducing contact, but it's not a hard hit. It's soft ground balls. I mean, that line out to Carly Stengel was a foul ball. That was the hardest hit ball of the game, and so yeah, the Spartans might be able to get around on some of these pitches by Riley Miller, but man, they're not barreling them up, that's for sure.
2 balls and a strike here. Miller quick with her delivery, and she gets a swing and a miss there. One thing about Miller is she's business. As soon as she gets that softball back, she kind of waits for a moment, only because the West Monona girls stepping out of the box, taking a couple practice swings, but she's on the rubber. As soon as that West Monona athlete, whoever it may be, steps into the box, softball in hand, she's ready to go. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3, strikeout number 3 in the contest for Miller. And now this will bring up the 8-hole hitter, 7 up, 7 down.
Well, that's just a sign of a confident pitcher, right? When you get the ball and just say, let me throw it, you don't even have to think about it. You maybe location pitch type, that's it, and go, go, go. I mean, you are confident, you are feeling yourself when you get the ball, you just get on the rubber, let's move. And you saw Healy try and take a beat before she got into the box before the 2-2 pitch, but it didn't end up mattering.
Jocelyn Gonkel, the batter now, in the left-handed batter's box. 8-hole, wears 7. Also plays the 7th position of left field. Of course, haven't had much action out there thus far. And this one is sent towards the left side, and it'll be a foul ball. Good hustle by the left side of the infield and the outfield going after that one, but nobody's able to catch up to it.
Yeah, Anna Larson had a good sprint out there for it, and if that ball hangs up just another split second, she probably has a chance to dive for it.
Brooks, the third baseman, out there as well. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the half inning for Riley Miller, and now we'll see if the 9 spot, Creighton Lichtenberg, can start things. Had that nice little help strikeout there. She drops that ball. She would have had to throw it to first base, of course, with the drop third strike rule, but the ball kind of popped up in the air, and she almost caught it like a pop fly to secure that strikeout.
Yeah, I wonder if she was just kind of, trying to make things more interesting for herself, too. I mean,
good highlight.
Right, exactly. It looks cooler, that's for sure.
No doubt about that. She'll have a 1 ball and no strike count here, and Miller will deliver. There's a swing and a miss. Really good pitch. She spun that one right past the bat.
Yeah, and it's whatever Miller and Hyatt want to do right now. They're getting that result, and they are keeping both West Monona and Audubon hitters completely clueless in the box.
This one fouled back to the backstop, so it'll be one strike away for Riley Miller. Trying to get out of this top half of the third inning. She struck out 4, no hits, no walks. Has not given up anything so far. It has been 8 up and 8 down for the Spartans of West Monona. Can they get something started? The 1-2 is taken for a ball. Riley Miller had taken a step towards the Audubon dugout. She thought she had just got a backwards K, but instead it's a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Deuce is on the board. 2 outs here in the top half of the third inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Popped up in the air. Foul territory. Won't be playable by any of the 9 athletes. It is playable by a lucky fan up there.
Somebody made a play on it, yeah.
And, sir, no, don't get rid of that. Take that to the concession stand. There's a prize awaiting for you.
What do you think the prize is?
I don't know. They keep saying prize.
I know.
I almost want to get one of those foul balls.
I was going to say, can we get one back here?
That one's fouled back, right back at us, but of course the netting in front of us doesn't allow.
The netting is keeping us from our prizes.
I have seen a couple of years here in Fort Dodge where one will go up into the stands and then there is some space between, and it rolls back down here on the media row, and it's rolled down and dropped right in front of us.
All right, well, maybe there's still a chance.
We'll have to wait for that. There's always a chance. Here's the 2-2 once again. It's low for ball 3. Great at bat here by Lichtenberg.
Yeah, this could be pitch number 8. So it just keeps fighting pitches off, stays alive, and maybe she's going to get a mistake here at some point.
She is just battling, as you have mentioned. Here is the 3-2, and they're going to check her swing. Did she go? No, they're going to say ball 4. Yeah, the Audubon dugout wanted a check swing. They are going to ask, and she did. So they get the check swing and they get the strikeouts. So originally it was not asked for the check swing. I thought she went from back here. They finally asked for the check swing and they get the strikeout. Strikeout number 5, and we will go to the bottom half of inning number 3. It is no score between Audubon and West Monona. More softball next on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As we head to the bottom half of inning number 3. Zarin Egestal, Daniel Verstag here. A lot of fun so far here in Fort Dodge, and we've got a really good one as we expected as we head to the bottom half of the third.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we expected a game in which only one base runner reaches through 2.5 innings, but we did expect a competitive, close ball game where athletes get to shine. It's just right now the pitchers are the athletes that are shining brightest at this point.
And here we go, bottom half of the third inning. We'll see what Audubon can do against Hyatt. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Audubon sends up 8, 9, and 1. It starts with Anna Larson, the left fielder, who gave a good chase at a ball in left field earlier and now up to bat for the first time and takes a ball and a strike. Hyatt 3 strikeouts. She's issued 1 walk. Otherwise, she has been perfect up and down the order of the Audubon Wheelers thus far with 2 more to face. And there's an awkward swing, but that's all due to the pitching of Abby Hyatt.
Again, it's just the hitters are guessing up there, it seems like. I mean, You are so unpredictable, whether you're Abby Hyatt or Riley Miller. And that is probably the best weapon you can have as a pitcher, when you just are so unpredictable that hitters are swinging like that. It makes you incredibly tough to just prepare for. I mean, hitters have a game plan too, and right now it's being tossed out the window.
And there's a swing and a miss, and strikeout number 4 for Abby Hyatt as she finds the K and now has one batter left in the Audubon order she has not faced. As Gemini Goodwin will step in to bat from the right side, the right fielder here in the 9th spot. And Goodwin going to try to bring the top of the order back up with runner on base. That's what you like from the 9-hole hitter. You've seen a lot of teams over the years that start, for years and years, you always talk about, well, some teams would, put maybe their worst batters in the 9th spot, right? That's what you don't want to bat 9th. But now, and Goodwin's a good example of that, a hitter that can get on base and bring your lineup card back to the top. Why not put like a leadoff, somebody that could be a leadoff hitter up in the back spot and flip that lineup card back over?
And more coaches are doing that. It's softball, baseball, you name it. I see coaches put a kid in there that's hitting 350, and it acts as like a second leadoff hitter. It can set the tone for the top of your order coming up, and can really change the outlook of an inning. As you mentioned, historically, 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Oh, it means 2 outs and maybe the first leadoff hitter gets on.
And that's a tough throw. And going to be safe over at first base is Goodwin. Really tough play at third base by Hill as she had to go back towards the line, backhand it, and then throw across the diamond. And they are going to issue an error in that situation. It's one of those where, was she going to beat it out or not? But You're just going to issue the error on the high throw. I think if that throw is at the bag, it still could be a base hit.
Yeah, if it's at the bag, she definitely reaches. But they also called obstruction, and so had the ball ricocheted back or Goodwin had been ranging off the base, she would have been safe anyway, but still worth to, make sure you get there, stay on top of it. And, first base runner in a long time for Audubon.
First since they had a walk in the first. This one's back to the backstop. That walk led off the game, and she's up to bat right now, Maddie Nielsen. She led off the game with a walk and then got to second base, stole second base, and then was stuck there as Hyatt sat down the next 7. There's a strikeout, a great pitch, painting the corner on the outside, and she finds a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Hyatt.
They're just mowing down hitters. I mean, even that, the ground ball that Goodwin reached on, it's an error. And so it could have been construed as an out there, but, that's the first piece of hitting that Audubon's had that's solid.
There's the first hit of the ball game by either team as it is roped right back up the middle by Taryn Peterson, and she hit that one well, right back up the middle. And here we go. The Wheelers are in business. 2 outs, runners at first and second, but they have the heart of the order due up next as Porsche and Miller are the next 2 standing on deck, looking to break this 0-0 tie in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
And this is exactly what Abby Hyatt didn't want. She wanted to work through this top of the order, no problem, but now she's got 2 on with the heart of the order up. This is going to be a struggle.
The first one is fouled back to the backstop. Hyatt 189 strikeouts this year, so she has gotten quite a few, but that's just over 1 per inning thus far. And they're going to call time. And the glove for her glove, some athletes wear gloves that go into their fielding glove, was sticking out of her back pocket. That's got to be tucked in and out of the pocket. So they get that situation. This one's ripped out into center field. It's deep, back towards the wall. It's off the wall. 1 run will score. It's extra bases. They're going to try to score a 2nd run, and no throw. It's a 2 RBI double for Jordan Porsche, and the Wheelers of Audubon are on top 2-0. Our extra base hits in all of our state tournament games brought to you by our friends at Channel Seeds, and that's one of our Channel Seeds extra base hits. Let's watch this one again. Just ripped it to center field.
Yeah, the center fielder, Lucas, was playing in, and I'm kind of struggling to figure out why. I mean, that, you know, in that scenario, you just need an out, you play straight away, but she had a few steps in, and that opened up the opportunity for Jordan Porsche to hit it over her head.
The Enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you level up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. As our first extra base hit in this contest is a big one, in the way that these two pitchers has been pitching. 2 runs seems like a mountain right now.
Yeah, no kidding, especially considering West Monona has not had a base runner at this point. At least Audubon had one with a walk, but yeah, when you have not reached base, 1 run seems like a mountain. 2 just seems like, you know, going to the moon at this point.
Riley Miller, the batter, that one's in there for a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. As Miller, a base hit away from adding another run on here for Audubon. Still 2 outs and a big strike by Hyatt. Now if you're Hyatt, you just want to kind of compose yourself and try to get the final out here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just looking for 1. She has a put away pitch. We've seen 5 strikeouts. Can she find it here? No, it's low, and a good job by Miller holding away on that one. Some would get a little eager with a runner on, and we've already seen you want to keep the train moving, as they say. Might be a little bit eager, but she allows that one to hit the dirt for a ball, and now we're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the third. And we'll do it all over again as that one's fouled back to the backstop, and of course, with a 3-2 3-ball count here.
Just the second 3-ball count issued by Abby Hyatt, and that shows how good she's been. Like you talk about the put-away pitch, she can put you away high or low. She's not picky, really.
Porsche was moving there. Got to be careful at second base, even with ball 4. There it is. And she'll get back to second base because she's not an automatic go there on a 3-2 pitch. Now she would be if we got into that situation again. We're going to have an IMT substitution as we see a runner come out. Looks like Lucy Stannerson. Over to do first base. Stannerson is on. She's our IMT pinch runner. Worry free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
And just an 8th grader out there to run. Had a stolen base and a run in the regionals.
And this one is hit towards center field. That's going to fall down for a base hit in left center. It's going to score another run. And just like that, the Wheelers will add on as Obermeyer sends one to left center and right in front of the West Monona defense. Gockel gets there, but not before the ball lands in.
Yeah, Alexis Obermeyer has been doing this all season. She's an all-state pick last year and going to play college softball at Grandview. Just a well-struck ball. And, you know, I love a hitter that can say, you know what, I'm looking for 1 pitch. I want to go on it right away and see if I can drive it hard. And that's exactly what she did. She gets Jordan Porsche to come around and score. And, boy, Audubon's put up 3 in this inning when it looked like we might not get 3 combined runs in this game.
No doubt about that, as Audubon has found a way to get to Hyatt. That one's in there for a call strike. Even from the start of this game, we knew that runs were going to be tough to come by, and Audubon making their first appearance. Were they going to be nervous? And Miller gets in the circle. She gets those first 3 outs to start this game. We could tell from the get-go that for Audubon, this is just another softball game.
Oh, it is. I mean, and of course, the storyline of the 2 schools merging. You had Exira Elkhorn Kimballton, been so close for 4 years. Audubon, who lost to Exira Elkhorn Kimballton in the region tournament last year. So then you had those 2 teams joining. I mean, Audubon had been so, you know, trying to get past Exira. Exira had been trying to get to the region final. So you get girls with enough drive and desire, and they can do something like this in their first ever trip to state.
There's a big strikeout for Hyatt. She composed herself and strands a couple of runners. Well, it's a little bit of a hill to climb for West Monona. We'll see if they can do it when we come back here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Back to Fort Dodge, the IGHSAU State Softball Championships, and some great merchandise there. Fans official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Or if you're on site here, of course, you can stop by the tents.
Customize it in person, too.
Absolutely. And this one is roped towards right field. Hit pretty well, but it's going to go just foul down that right field line. So West Monona saying, hey, we're not going down without a fight. They come back and immediately punch back here to start this off, as it is the top of the order, Casey Miller.
And this is exactly who to expect to try and get something started. I mean, a 500 hitter this year, slugging almost 900. She's going to play JUCO softball at Iowa Western. That's who you expect. This West Monona Spartan lifer is who you expect to try and get something started.
A ground out in her first plate appearance. That one misses for a ball. Make it 1 ball and 1 strike to count. And as you mentioned, has had a great campaign. The shortstop looking to reach 70 hits this year, 68 of them so far.
And think about this too, Zarin. Okay, so Miller plays softball. It's one of her better sports. She's recorded almost 1,000 career digs in volleyball, scored over 1,000 career points in basketball. She was also runner-up in the wrestling tournament this year.
She sure was. There's a base hit up the middle. And she gets that one right back up the middle, and she is fired up. You see her down there at first base trying to pump up her dugout down that first base side. And there is the first hit of the ball game against Riley Miller. So both blemishes get tarnished here in the third and then now to the 4th inning. And now West Monona going to try to battle back, and they slap this one down right back towards the third base side. Fire to first. It's not going to be in time. Safe, and Miller goes to third base. She pulled her foot. I saw that one from here. And, of course, the umpire is right on there. Good call by him. And we're going to have a pause and a time, as this one will be talked about. Good effort by Audubon trying to get that play. Michelle Brooks made a really good run at that slap. But just the speed down that first base bag, and now 1st and 3rd for West Monona.
And they're finally able to showcase that speed. It had been so tough for them. Obviously, striking out 4 times in a row doesn't help. But even their ground balls, they were, hit softly, but they couldn't reach, and they were hit right at people. And now they're finally able to find enough of a gap. It may not be toward the outfield, but they're finding enough holes in the Audubon defense and they can finally showcase their speed and get on base.
And now Abby Hyatt steps in with a golden opportunity to help herself out. Runners are at 1st and 3rd with nobody out here against Riley Miller. Runner will take off to second base. They're going to throw down to third base. Good job getting back by Casey Miller. And now runners are at 2nd and 3rd. Almost one of those things that it's almost automatic here in the softball game, getting down to second base in that situation.
And if there are any 2 runners where that would be automatic, it's Miller, and Lucas. The speed they've shown already, you just give them second.
And Hyatt sends this one deep to left field. It won't be enough to get out, but it will be enough to score a run. Both runners will move up. It'll be a sac fly for Hyatt, and they cut in to the Audubon lead as they score their first run on a deep sac fly to left field, hauled in by Anna Larson.
Yeah, I know Hyatt would have loved to see that ball go out. She was just underneath it, but you got to start chipping away at some point. You get a run on the board, and you still have 2 outs to play with. There's still plenty of opportunities to get another run in.
And good base running by Lucas to move up. They're going to try to bunt again, fire from third base. Here comes the throw home, not in time. Not in time. As they go to first originally, they get the out at first base. Done well there by Brooks, but then sprinting home is Lucas, and she scores.
Yeah, you could see that developing. Lucas was timing it, and as soon as she knew that Michelle Brooks was going to throw over to first, she said, okay, I'm going to break. And just a heads-up base running by Lucas, and there you go. We're back to a 1-run game.
Yeah, as you see that one again, Lucas just breaking for home. And, of course, if you're Audubon, you got to go to first base and try to get that out, but you know that Lucas is creeping. And if you're Lucas, again, like you said with the timing, you got to make sure that throw actually goes to first base. You don't want to get it to where you take off early, and now all of a sudden they go home, and now you're in a pickle.
Yeah, you see pump fakes on stuff like that all the time, trying to bait you into taking a few extra steps off the bag and getting you into a pickle. And so that's a great heads-up play by a junior in Lucas, who's played some great softball for the Spartans.
Now back to within 1 is West Monona. They'll try to restart things here with 2 outs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So quickly getting into a hole is Bree Hill, the third baseman for the Spartans of West Monona. Riley Miller trying to get her team out of the 4th inning and get back to the sticks in the bottom. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 delivering by Miller, and it's fouled back to the backstop as Hill stays alive, and we'll do it all over again.
Well, now I think the pressure's taken off West Monona. They've gotten on, they've gotten runs in. Now they can just say, all right, I can swing it again. I can go back to my approach. I don't have to be stressed to get on base.
Hard ground ball, third base side, just foul. Behind the bag, goes all the way down to the 200 sign here in left field. 200 all around this field here. The Iowa Central field at the Rogers Sports Complex. 200 to left, 200 to center, and 200 to right field.
And it's the same on the Channel Seats field as well. There's some uniformity here.
Indeed. Swing and a miss, strike 3, a strikeout for Miller. Her 6th of the ball game, but West Monona, they're right back into the softball game. It's 3-2. More softball to come next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think Fareway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fareway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Welcome back to Fort Dodge. Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2024 Girls State Softball Tournament. As the sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Farm Bureau recognizes athletics and academic achievement on the diamond and in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau. And there's a beautiful bunt. Is it going to be enough to be safe? And it is. We'll see how they score this. Looked like they might have gotten her if the play is made, so could be an error issued. We'll see.
I would get that line of thinking, but I think you you got to give her a hit there.
Yeah, I would be leaning. Now they do charge her for an error. I think the reason for that is because the umpire called it that she dropped the softball. So the umpire pointed that the softball was dropped, and I think that's where they have to issue the error. So it will be error number 2 charged to West Monona.
Yeah, I can get behind. The throw was a little low, but the way I saw it, the throw was low, but it's playable by the first baseman. So I think if you could give like coinciding errors, that's probably the only way, or if they negate each other. But no, I can understand that. And but hey, no matter how you score it, Audubon gets on base and get something started once again here in the 4th.
Yeah, either way, at the end of the day, no matter what the book says, for the Wheelers, they have a runner at first base and nobody out again here in the 4th inning after they tagged West Monona for 3 runs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
And you kind of got that feeling that, once one team scores, the other team is going to start getting in gear and saying, all right, we got to, get things rolling.
This is Larson. She's 0 for 1. She struck out her first appearance in the 8th spot. That's the other thing. So Brooks bunts her way on via that error, and now you got Larson and Goodwin, and then you flip back over to that deadly top of the order for Audubon. They could be poised for another good inning here, and Hyatt's going to try to minimize that. And it starts with getting one or both the 8-9 hitters out. So when you do flip over to that top of the order, barring a double play, it's with a couple of outs. Here's the 2-2. And just off the corner of the plate for a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 6 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 walks issued so far in the ball game by Abby Hyatt. In the circle for West Monona. And the 3-2 is just missing for ball 4. A huge pitch that just misses the plate. And now runners are at first and second.
And I'm starting to, I don't know if I'm getting a feeling that Abby Hyatt is starting to try and take matters into her own hands here as far as pitching is concerned. She's not, pitching to contact as much anymore. She's trying to strike everybody out.
Here's the sacrifice bunt. It'll move both runners over, executed perfectly by your 9-hole hitter. Get you a 9-hole hitter that can sack bunt like Goodwin. And now you got runners at second and third with just 1 out. And here comes the top of the order. It starts with Maddie Nielsen, the center fielder, with just 1 out. And even if she puts one in play somewhere, runners could be coming home.
And hopefully that play, gives Abby a little bit more confidence in her defense, because the last 2 plays like that resulted in errors. And so this could help.
Popped up. This could be what the doctor ordered for West Monona as Miller pulls it down in shallow left field. And you could not ask for a better ball in play than a ball like that. Casey Miller, who's a very good athlete, makes the play in shallow left field just behind shortstop. And now all of a sudden there's 2 outs and a way out for the West Monona Spartans.
Pitchers have 2 best friends, the double play ball and an infield pop-up. Nothing can happen on an infield pop-up.
That's caught.
That's caught, of course.
And this one is going to be fouled. They're going to fire to first base, but all 3 umpires put up foul ball. West Monona, though, that's what you like to see as a coach.
Yep.
Whether it's foul or not, it's kind of one of those, you don't have a whistle in baseball and softball, but play to the whistle.
Yeah, well, don't let the umpires determine the play for you. Just say, hey, we're going to take matters into our own hands. Okay, now it's foul. All right, that's fine. It negates what we did, but, hey, we made sure that the umpires weren't going to, determine that for us.
There's a big cut and a miss. And now no balls and 2 strikes on Peterson, who had a big single her last time to the plate. Could be another one if she finds some green grass somewhere here in Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex. But right now an 0-2 count, a bigger strikeout for Abby Hyatt, number 7 of the game, maybe no one bigger, as we keep this game at 3-2 heading to the 5th inning. It's been fun so far. We got more to come here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge we go as level up your game. Fans at Central College, more than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passion and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. And Audubon, they got the email. They're wearing the Central red today. Or the Audubon Wheeler red, as they would like to call it.
Good theme. You got the memo, too.
Yeah, I'm wearing red as well. Western Iowa Conference. Audubon County. Popped up in the air, and it is going to be, did it touch anybody? No, it's a foul ball. That's a dangerous play as it landed fair. There was 3 athletes there. If it would have touched any of them, it would have been a fair ball. And runner safe over at first base, but it misses everybody, says our umpires. And it's just a foul ball.
Yeah, and it almost looked like, and if she did, this is an outstanding play. Michelle Brooks kind of jumped out of the way of that ball once it dropped. Heads up play if that is what she did, because, yeah, that ball touches her. It's a fair ball, and you got a leadoff base runner.
And now a check swing by Baker, and she fouls it off her bat as she was trying to, get out of the way of that one, but it hit the handle of the bat on the way in.
It sounded like it got the grip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't hit more of the handle than that.
McKenna Baker, the second baseman, wears number 1, trying to start it off here for West Monona, and she pops it up. It's a lazy fly ball to the third base side, and it's cleaned up by Brooks over at third for out number 1.
A well-played inning there, or well-played batter by Michelle Brooks, just getting out of the way of that bunt, keeping the batter at the plate, and then easily making a play on the pop fly.
This will send Nevaeh Healy to the plate now here in the 7th spot, and Healy pops one up in the air towards shortstop. Peterson is underneath it, and she makes the play at shortstop. So Brooks and Peterson, the left side of the infield, make 2 easy routine pop-ups. And West Monona retired in order thus far here in the top half of the 5th inning.
We haven't had too many quick innings like this, and it might not be a quick inning depending on how this one goes, but it's moving along.
And there it is in foul territory. The left side of the infield says, here, we'll take care of this inning for you guys. As they go 1, 2, 3, West Monona does in the top half of the 5th. Bottom half of the 5th inning comes up next. Audubon leads West Monona 3-2 on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge we go. It is 3-2. Audubon leads over West Monona here on the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. Class 2A quarterfinal. Quarterfinals starting to wind down. We finish off with Class 2A here, Northeast and EBF playing on the other field. Audubon and West Monona here. We go to Class 1A to round out our evening. And then we flip over. We start playing some semifinals tomorrow here in Fort Dodge. And one of these 2 teams would love to be playing in the state semifinals. One of them will not. But we don't know who that will be, as we have had such a good softball game so far. Ground ball, third base side, and a routine play, 5-3 on the putout for Bree Hill. She fires it over to Healy at first base in time for the out.
Loving the defense is starting to, show up here the last inning and a half or so. Both pitchers were kind of strikeout machines for a little while, and then we had, each side had a big inning, but the defenses are really settling in and, making some nice plays. Obviously, for West Monona, that's a bigger deal because they had 2 errors through a couple innings there.
Miller grounds this one to second base, and it'll be picked up and easy out at first base in time for out number 2, as Baker gets it over to Healy in time for the out. So 2 routine ground balls and 2 putaways for West Monona on 2 dangerous hitters for Audubon and Porsche and Miller. Now Obermeyer steps in, the first baseman, and she's going to try to get something started here with 2 outs for the Wheelers. Popped it up in the air, and it'll be back out of the crowd. I think it kind of fooled everybody for a moment as everybody was kind of looking up. Did that one coming straight down? No, I didn't hear a clink on the stands either, so it must be back towards the Iowa Central baseball field that sits behind us. Baseball field here. We got 2 softball fields, and you got the mini majors all around. One of them will be the Iowa Central softball field, as previously mentioned, down the hill, and then you've got a couple other mini major fields. You got the slow pitch softball fields out there on that side, and the 0-2. That one misses for a ball. I played a few games of slow pitch softball on those fields. Played 3 seasons of slow pitch softball here.
There you go. And then, you got the consolation diamonds down that way. Those are, this is a really well put together complex.
Ground ball towards the shortstop. 3 different infielders make 3 different plays, and West Monona is out of the 5th inning as we have come and gone with the stretch. We head to the 6th. It's Audubon leading West Monona in the 3-6 game by a score of 3-2. More softball in the 6th inning is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company.
Slade's the place for you!
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Back to Fort Dodge we go. There's a look at the stands. Fans of Audubon on the right side, fans of West Monona on the left side of your screen. 3-2. Audubon leads over West Monona as we get set for the top half of the 6th inning. 6 outs remaining here for West Monona. They need at least 1 in the next 6 outs, and it starts off here as ball number 1 is issued for the 9-hole hitter, Lichenberg, the catcher. Top of the order due up next. Casey Miller stands in the on-deck circle. Lucas will follow her. This could be a spot where West Monona could try to cut in here. You get 9 on, and then you bring the top of the order up with a runner on base. And we do know who the winner of this game will play, as 7-seeded Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont, they defeat Northeast 6-1. It was all EBF. They started off with the first run of the game and just added on throughout the entire game to go on to win 6-1. This one is lined out towards left field. That is, incredible play at shortstop. Great play by Taryn Peterson as she sprints out into left field. I was just about to say that one was going to get down for a base hit. A little flare over the shortstop instead. Taryn Peterson says, absolutely not. I'm going to make a darn good play here in the state tournament. She tracks that one down.
Yeah, if you look at that replay, she actually started coming to her right and then realized she had to move back a few steps. And So, I mean, just outstanding awareness and a great play all around.
And this one will fall down as a foul ball down the first base side, as Casey Miller will get new life at the top of this West Monona order. Miller, Lucas, and Hyatt are the next three to come to the plate with one out here in the top half of the sixth inning. And this one's popped up in the air, hit pretty well towards center field, but it's sky high, and it gives plenty of time for the center fielder, Matty Nielsen, to get over there and make the play for out number 2 here at the top of the sixth inning. Casey Miller is retired. And that'll bring on Savannah Lucas, who will try to start things with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth inning for West Monona. Riley Miller has pitched pretty good so far. That's a foul ball. I think that actually hit her in the box. Before it even rolled down the first base side. Riley Miller so far in this game, 6 strikeouts, no walks, has allowed 2 earned runs in this game, but just 2 hits issued to the West Monona team that has hit the ball well this season. And she slaps this one down the first base side, looking for a base hit. No. And a better play by Michelle Brooks at third base as she fields and fires the first in time for out number 3. We head to the bottom half of the sixth inning as West Monona will have just 3 outs left, but first they're going to have to come play defense in the bottom of the sixth. We've played through the top of the sixth inning. 3-2 is the lead for Audubon. More softball is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge. Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why they are proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state softball tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we are investing in Iowa's future. And that is going to be an investment for a base hit by Audubon, as that one is behind the bag, so it didn't matter whether it rolled into foul territory. It was a fair ball scooped up, but a base hit to start the half inning for Audubon.
Yeah, I don't think Hooker could have thrown this ball any better.
No,
just put it right behind the first baseman. Baker had no chance to get there in time either, and just a beautiful place, bloop single.
And now this one is bunted back to the backstop, and it will be a foul ball. As Audubon with the runner on, this is Michelle Brooks, who has been busy. We have called her name countless times at third base today. She has been busy, and she has been up to the task for the Wheelers of Audubon, trying to find their first ever state tournament win and their first ever state tournament appearance and get EBF in a state semifinals tomorrow. That one's taken for a ball. Both teams will play tomorrow, just depending on the time. The loser will play at 12:15 on Yankee Field in a consolation. The winner will play in the state semifinals at 5:15 right here on this field. So about just over 24 hours from now, the state semifinals will be played right here. Another bunt foul, and that'll make it a 1-ball-and-2-strike count.
The state tournament's a grind. I mean, you know that. You sign up for it, and you play some tough games back to back to back, and it truly shows, you know, who's got it and who doesn't. You earn your state championship in Fort Dodge.
There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Hyatt. Her 8th strikeout. Has issued 3 walks, 4 hits, and according to this, no earned runs.
Right.
So far in this game, the runs for Audubon have come in unearned so far for Hyatt.
Yeah, they all came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning after an error was recorded. So, yeah, all 3 runs have been unearned, and that's just capitalizing on, mistakes. You get gifted an opportunity like that, you got to capitalize on it, and Audubon did to the tune of 3 2-out hits and a walk in that inning.
Yeah. No doubt about that. No balls and 1 strike here. Audubon trying to add on before they get a chance to win the game. There's a little flare out to the third base side. Will get down foul as Hill gave it a good chase at third base, but couldn't quite get to that softball. Fort Dodge St. Edmunds coming up next here on this field, as that's the next game here on this stream, the Iowa Central field. Taking on Collins Maxwell. That one missing for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Actually, their home field.
Correct. Yep.
This is the field that Fort Dodge St. Edmunds plays with a regular season game on.
The Dodgers play on the other one.
They sure do. Yep. Here's the set and the 1-2. This one is sent foul down the first base side. And we'll do it all over again. Couple of foul balls here for Gockel. For Larson, the batter for Audubon. Left-handed batter. Anna Larson also plays left field, has a runner over at first base, trying to move her around. 1-2, and fouled back once again. We'll do it all over again. Larson battling, so is Hyatt. Larson so far, strikeout and a walk in this game, 0 for 1.
And Audubon, of course, looking for a little bit more insurance. They know West Monona is going to give them everything they can ask for in the next half inning.
And that one misses for a ball. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes the count.
And that's a good pitch after you get a couple foul balls, counts 1 and 2. You have some pitches to waste. You might as well see if she's in swing mode.
And a ground ball towards the left side. Hill has got it. She'll fire to first in time for the out. So good play there by Hill as she was able to scoop that one up in front of Casey Miller, the shortstop. And step and throw over to first base, and it's squeezed by the West Monona first baseman, Healy, for out number 2. And now they're a 9-hole hitter away from getting to the 7th inning with a chance with their last ups. West Monona is, but the Audubon runner moves to second base. And the first pitch is down the middle for a called strike. So you got a runner at first, a runner at second. 2 outs, bottom 6th inning. Audubon and West Monona, we've been telling you since the start of this game that it was going to be a good softball game, and it has been everything we have asked for. High fly to the center field, camping underneath it, and underneath it for out number 3 is Lucas. So here we go, top of the 7th inning. Audubon trying to reach the state semifinals. West Monona trying to extend this game. There's the Spartans running their dugout, firing each other up. We'll come back. More softball on the IGHSAU Digital Network is next.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Welcome back to beautiful Fort Dodge. There is the Audubon Wheeler fans. They're hoping their team can play tomorrow at 5:15 in the state semifinals. Though the other fans in all green, West Monona, is hoping They can find a run. It is 3, 4, and 5 due up, and Hyatt grounds the first one up the middle. You ask for a spark, you get a spark from your pitcher who has had a pretty good game in the circle, and she lines one right back up the middle.
Yeah, and that's, we were talking in the break, with the heart of your order up, this is where it's got to happen, and no better player, no better athlete to get you started than Abby Hyatt.
We'll have a courtesy runner over at first base. An IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Get you a number on that courtesy runner. There's a bunt right back to the pitcher. So the tying run is at second base as the bunt laid down by Stengel. Did a great job.
It moves Ashley Pitted over to second base. That's the courtesy runner for West Monona. And doing what you got to do. I mean, this is where it's got to happen with small ball, and West Monona executes it well. They're tying runs in scoring position.
Now you bring Bree Hill and McKenna Baker. They're the next two up, and they are the hope here for West Monona. And that pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0.
It's like our home plate umpire dropped his
counter,
yeah, and he had to recover in time, but still somehow got back into the crouch in time to make the call.
A .343 hitter this season fouls this one back to the backstop. Make it 1-1 strike. Bree Hill has had a pretty good year. 37 hits for her, 31 runs scored, 22 RBI. She's 0 for 2 so far tonight with a flyout and a strikeout. And she sends this one to the left side, and it's going to be a foul ball. One that kind of rode in on her on the hands, and she was able to fight it off.
Yeah, those are the toughest pitches. They run in, and you can't get around on them, and they're going to be strikes, and you got to do something with them, but that's about as best as you can do is just spoil it.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Hill the batter, Miller the pitcher. And she sends this one to left side. Could be playable, but it's going to be a foul ball. Tough play for anybody to get to it.
And that's just all muscle, too. I mean, Hill, with that pitch on the hands that you can't really barrel up, you got to fight that thing into the outfield. She somehow just got enough to get it over the third baseman head in foul territory.
So Hill will step back in. Here is the 1-2 pitch again. This time it's fair. Down the third base side, hit pretty well, and it is going to be caught in the corner. They did not tag the runner at second. The runner at second did not tag to third base on a deep fly ball, and now Audubon is just 1 out away from reaching the state semifinals.
Well done.
Play.
Yeah, Larson got all the way deep into that corner, knew where she was in the field, and was able to bring it in for out number 2.
The last hope for West Monona. That's a line drive into right field, and that is going to fall for a base hit, and we are tied at 3-3. Last hope's on the line, and Healy comes in and knocks one into right field. McKenna Baker, the second baseman, lines one into right field just out of the glove. Let's watch this one again as Goodwin gave it a chance here in right field to go after it, but just couldn't quite get to it.
Think about that, just a few inches away from an outstanding game-ending catch. Instead, McKenna Baker is the hero, ties the game, and keeps it going. We'll at least see the bottom of the inning.
And luckily for West Monona, Goodwin left her feet going after that one. If she plays that one in front of her, that runner that didn't tag up from second to third, she might have had to been held at third base.
Yeah, I like the hustle from Gemini Goodwin. I mean, you got a chance to win the game there.
Throw down to second base in time. Thrown out at second base. And we will go to the bottom half of the 7th inning as West Monona thought they had got in there safely, still standing at second base. Baker still has not left second base. Thinking maybe we're in a little bit higher of a level, we can have a challenge. We cannot. We will go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-3 our score. Audubon now the chance to win when we come back on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Welcome back to Fort Dodge. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. Will Audubon win it? Will we play extras only time? We will find out. We did watch that last play on replay. Good call by our umpire as she was out at second base. As we figure, these umpiring crew have done such a good job here.
Fantastic.
At the state tournament. And no doubt in our minds there, the runner out and the play called well by our third base umpire. First pitch taken for a ball. So now it's up to Audubon. West Monona, they needed to score a run. It was their task to do so. They did. Now for Audubon, 1 run, they win and are off to the state semifinals, their second opportunity. And it is the top of the order, 1, 2, 3 for the Wheelers. It starts with Maddie Nielsen, the center fielder who is 0 for 2 so far today. She walked, struck out, and flew out her last time. So she has done about everything except for get a hit in this game. Here's the 1-1. That one's taken for a ball. The other thing she hasn't done yet is walk, and now she's got a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. West Monona crowd wanted a strike called there. The Audubon crowd, you heard them yell good eye. So it's
right.
Are you wearing red or are you wearing green? That one is looped into left field. Is that a fair ball? It is. Just barely fair down that third base side. The West Monona crowd disagrees. But again, I think that one was perfectly called. Of course, you have the best angle right there, third base side, and it lands in for a base hit.
Yeah, let's
watch this one again.
We'll get a look on the replay, but I think this ball is fair pretty substantially.
It is.
It hits the chalk. I mean, that's textbook.
It's a fair ball. Nielsen lands that one with a pin into left field, and it's a base hit. And the winning run is now at first. They're going to try to move her to second, but it's bunted foul. Peterson is the batter. She bunted that one down the third base side, but goes just foul, trying to move the runner over to second base. And for Hyatt, you know you're probably going to need a strikeout at some point here in this, whether you get a runner to second base. You know that it's going to come down to not putting a ball in play because you know that the bunt is coming here for the next couple of at-bats, and there is a bunt, and the runner gets to second base. They're going to call the runner over at first out.
And they're going to have to put
the
Maddie
runner back
Nielsen
at first.
back to first.
She has to go back to first.
Yeah, Taryn Peterson tried to duck out of the way, and I thought she got underneath it, but evidently it must have hit her shoulder or something like that. And man, what a tough break for the Wheelers. I thought she had gotten underneath it, but just to hit her. We'll see a replay again. It got it looked back. Like got the knob of her bat almost as she was kind of putting it back down.
Yeah.
What a big break for the Spartans.
Huge break for the Spartans as they get an out and the runner has to stay at second. So if they want to move that runner again, they're going to have to sacrifice another player. This part of the order, though, you might as well just let them swing away and see if they can't move the runner themselves. Jordan Porsche has put some good swings into balls so far tonight. A fly out, a single.
And she drove in 2 with the double in the third inning. So this is the kind of hitter you want to just kind of let her rip, as they say.
Yeah, excuse me, a fly out and a double in this contest. And that one is taken for a ball. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Winning run is at first base. 1 out. This one is sent to center field pretty deep. Underneath it and making the catch for out number 2 is Lucas. So a loud out, but it is exactly that, just a loud out. The runner has to stay at first, and now if you're West Monona, you're 1 out away from getting this back to extras and keeping this game going.
Man, she got good barrel on it, too. It just couldn't quite carry enough. It was hit right at Savannah Lucas. And, just a well-struck ball, just couldn't find the gap. That's a great gapper hit, but if it's hit right at somebody, it's an easy catch.
And it's storybook now that Riley Miller gets to step in as the last hope here in regulation for Audubon with a runner over at first base. Miller has been phenomenal in the circle today for Audubon, and now she gets the chance at bats here in the cleanup spot. She wears number 4, and she takes the first pitch for a ball. Now a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 0 for 2 so far today. She struck out, walked, and grounded out her last time to the plate. Kind of due for a hit, as was Nielsen, who's over at first base, and we saw her get hers. That one's outside for a ball, misses, and Miller holds off of it. A lot of fans have gathered. A few other green shirts as Fort Dodge St. Edmunds plays on this field next against Collins Maxwell, so you see the blues starting to trickle in as well. And that one misses for a ball, 3 balls and 1 strike. That game is scheduled for about an hour from now at 5:15.
And we're starting to get to the point of the game where they're starting to get less butts and seats as they are just ready to see how this one comes to an end.
This one is hit well to right field, and it is down for a hit. Can they get the run in? Here comes the throw, the relay. It was not in time. Riley Miller has done it. Riley Miller has sent the Audubon Wheelers to the state semifinals for the first time in school history in their first ever state appearance. She does it in the circle. She does it in the batter's box. And Riley Miller, you are a state semifinalist with the Audubon Wheelers.
Well, you knew it was going to have to be something like that, and boy, she just doesn't do too much with this pitch. Drives it into the alley, perfectly placed in right center. She's going to have to take a perfect relay throw, and once you get on the run like that, it's tough to dial in the pitch. And it didn't take much to understand that Maddie Nielsen was going to try and score no matter where that ball was hit. And, Coach Schwery center, and what a game, what a win for the Wheelers. You can't draw it up any better than to win your first ever state tournament contest.
Because even if she's thrown out,
right,
the worst thing is you go to the 8th
you go to
inning,
extras,
you've got a center there, and they do the whole way. Riley Miller does everything for, and she is going to be the one that, of course, moves her team on the official bracket in the center, as she right there moving her team on. And the Wheelers are state semifinalists. They're going to play EBF in the state semifinals for a trip to the title game on Friday, but they're going to play tomorrow at 5:15 right here on this field, and about 24 hours from now. So if you're Coach Schwery, you kind of right now let people celebrate for a little bit, but you're 24 hours away from the school's first ever state semifinals.
Right, you enjoy it for a little bit tonight, but it's got to be back to business tomorrow or even later tonight. I mean, you don't have too much time to just say, oh, we're happy to win one game. And now, Audubon goes in as the favorite seating-wise. They got a chance to make even more history with a chance to play for a state title if they can get past a very good EBF squad.
As you see it on your screen, the grounds crew has already taken over here. They're getting ready for the next game. Our crews will also be getting ready for the next game here in Fort Dodge. Again, Audubon, they win 4 runs on 6 hits. West Monona scores 3 runs on 4 hits. They commit 2 errors in the conference, the difference in today's game. Thanks for our entire crew, from camper operators to our executive producers, Daniel Versteg. I'm Zarin Agostal from Fort Dodge saying good afternoon.